Marcus Speaks. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Live. I'm your host, Marcus. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend like I am. I've spent most of my weekend sleeping, but you can only do so much. What I want to get into before I get into the show, I want to do a couple things backwards just so I can get everything in order. So, first things first, if you ever seen my show and you've watched and you've had a good time, you'll know that when I do my show, I have videos that I play. It goes along with what I'm saying when I make my point. In some ways, that is frowned upon amongst YouTube, but I have the law by my side. So what I do is a little thing called fair use. If you guys don't know what fair use is, I'll let you know now. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. All right. So, with that, I make sure that I get my point across with every topic that I do. But if you see what you have on the screen there at the bottom, welcome to the show. And with that, if you're watching, I would like to give you a round of applause and a Jamaican DJ horn. Thanks for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. So, with that, if you could, like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell icon so you can get all of my notifications immediately. Alright? So, another thing I like to get off my chest, don't forget on Fridays I do a game stream called Marcus Speaks Play. I'm currently playing Kirby. I beat it last night, but we have some post-game stuff to do. So coming next week, I will have that for you. I don't know what to name it just yet, for the simple fact that I did the main stuff in parts. I don't know if I should name this something different, but just added it to the playlist. I'm not sure yet, but come through on Fridays at 6:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason why I say 6:30-ish p.m. is sometimes I can't make it directly at 6:30 like I do this show. No, it took a long time. I had some things to do in the background. It was a whole bunch of things I was doing here in the background, and I'm sorry for taking so long, but the show will be good. It's always a good show over here. So, let's see. So next thing, sorry, I don't want to make this a whole big thing, but let me get my theme music going. Everybody wants to hear the theme music. Now, as well, I don't want you guys to forget, on Saturdays I do this show. All All right, it always starts on time. It's a show that I hold near and dear to myself because I started out doing this show, and it's a great show if I can say so. As well, it's good to see new people come through every once in a while. So anyway, if you could follow these or subscribe to these channels, my main channel, which I'm doing this live from, as well as my secondary channel, the Marcus Speaks Play channel. Please go into the description box. Either link, you can subscribe to both channels. The way you can do that is if you go to my main channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell to all, scroll down, you'll see another subscribe to Marcus Speaks Play. It happens over there on Marcus Speaks Play as well. You can subscribe to Marcus Speaks Play, scroll down, you can subscribe to Marcus Speaks. Alright, so whatever you do, just hit subscribe and hit the bell icon if you do. When I do Marcus Speaks Play, sometimes Marcus Speaks Live is over on Twitch. I want you guys to go over there and follow me on Twitch. I don't know how to work Twitch just yet. I'm still learning. But, if you guys want to view some game stuff, I have some game stuff over there. They don't save videos as far as what I understand. So it's not a library of stuff like it is over here on YouTube. So you make your pick where you want to watch some of my videos, some of my gaming videos, as well as my podcasts. I suggest you watch it here. So, on the main channel or the secondary channel has some of my game stuff. The Marcus Speaks has everything that I've done. If you have any sort of recommendation, a game recommendation, a story recommendation, or a show recommendation, something I can do as far as a review show for each game or talk about games or something like that, you let me know either in the live chat, which I have right here in front of me, or you can let me know in the comment section if you're watching the replay, or you can hit me up in my DMs on social media. The way you can follow me is right here. I'm on Instagram at marcus.speaks.podcast, as well as Facebook at Marcus Speaks. You can follow me on my group page as well, Marcus Speaks Podcast, and as well on Twitter at Marcus Speaks 25, username Marcus Speaks Podcast. Alright? So, if you could check all those links out, let me know how you feel by following me, subscribing to me, hitting the bell icon, hitting the thumbs up on videos. You guys let me know how you feel, alright? And with that, if you could, like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you do. I can't reiterate that any much more other than these 2 times I have in my ear throughout the show. As well as drop a comment, let me know how you feel, and let me know that what I'm saying is making sense to you. If not, I'll clarify myself. Alright? The way I am doing this is Restream.com. Streaming to my main channel, Marcus Speaks. I'm not being paid to say this. This is not a paid promotion. I just like Restream.com. Alright? So, with that being said, I have a link that is pinned over to the side there. If you want to come and talk to me, you can by hitting that link. The only rules I have with that is this. Let me know. Have your camera on so people can see you. If you don't want people to see you, have your camera on when you come to the backstage so I can see you. And before you go, come on, I'll let you know to turn your camera off so then you can be here on the show. As well, the only other rule is please keep the curse words to a minimum. All right? You might hear me cuss throughout the show, but I'm steady trying to catch myself when I do cuss. But those are the only rules I have when coming up here on the show is have your camera on, and if you don't want to be shown, please have your camera on in the background so I can see you before you come on. as well as no curse words. So please watch your mouth. But other than that, how's everybody doing? How's everybody's week has been? My week has been pretty good. Work is work, so work has been work. So steady trying to grind it out over there. I don't never do this, but shout out to my job. I don't really do that much. Most of them know about my podcast. I don't know if they're watching, but whatever. If you are, what's up? How you doing? Round of applause to you as well. But there really hasn't been any like small tidbits of stuff that's been going on in the news, other than it's the only thing that's been going on. The Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. That's their case. Johnny's defamation case against Amber Heard, or Amber Turd. Me Poo has been trended last week, as well as Amber Turd on Twitter. It's been a wild case. It was so entertaining that for days, even right now, they're still talking about how Amber Heard took a bowel movement in Johnny Depp's bed and left it there and blamed it on their small Yorkies. And it's just been hilarious from there. That's where the Amber Turd hashtag comes from. Uh, it's just some crazy stuff going on in that case. You learn that they both like to do drugs, and I didn't think that Mira from Aquaman like to bump her nose every now and again. And I ain't talking about up against aquarium walls. I'm talking about with cocaina. Her and Johnny Depp love the cocaina. So much so it's been brought up in the case, and you guys go over. I don't know who's streaming this case. I don't know if you guys been watching it on television or not, but try. I think go to the Court TV. Go to the Court TV YouTube channel. They have various breakdowns of lawyers talking about this. So go over there. I'm suggesting that channel to y'all right now. And, so you guys can get like a small grasp of what's going on out there in the news right now. But with that stuff out of the way, some other news that I have for you guys. Some top news of the week. I have 3 top stories that I do every week that I feel as though should be talked about. And here they are. The mother of comedian Chris Rock is speaking out against Will Smith about the Oscar slap. Let me see which one looks better. Okay, that looks good. The Oscar slap. She's not playing no games. She's not holding any punches. This is what this is an article that I've collected this from. This is what she had to say about the whole ordeal. So let's get into it. So Chris Rock's mom, Rose Rock, is sharing her thoughts on Will Smith slapping her son at the 2022 Oscar ceremony, 1 month removed from the moment. Rock, an author of motivational speaker, told Columbia, South Carolina news channel WIS that the comedian is doing well, but still processing. The incident that led Smith to resign from the Academy of Motion Pictures, Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. The organization has since announced that Smith, who won Best Actor for his performance in King Richard, is banned from all events, including the Oscar ceremony, for the next 10 years. I told someone when Wills slapped Chris, he slapped all of us. But he really slapped me, Rose Rock said. When you hurt my child, you hurt me. When asked what she would say to Smith, Rock replied, "I have no idea what I I have no idea what I would say other than what in the world were you thinking? Because you did a slap, but hold on, because you did a slap, but so many things could have happened. Chris could have stepped back and fallen. You really could have gotten taken out in handcuffs. If you didn't think, you reacted to your wife giving you the side eye, and you went up and made her day because she was blown over. Hold on, bowed over laughing when it happened. Regarding the 10-year ban, she said, "What does that mean? You don't even go every year." Rock, who pointed out that she didn't think the Academy should have taken away Smith's Oscar, went on to say she was really, really proud of how her son reacted in the moment. She added that she didn't think the apology Smith posted on his Instagram account on the day after the ceremony felt genuine. I feel I feel really bad that he never apologized, Rock said. His people wrote up a piece and said, "I apologize to Chris, but something like that is personal. You reach out." Smith slap followed Chris Rock making a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, having a shaved head. The comedian has largely remained mum but about the incident since the Oscars. Earlier this month, Chris's brother Kenny Rock told the Los Angeles Times that he didn't find Smith's apology to be genuine. Now, and I've reported on this a lot. I've reported on the whole incident that happened. I reported on his little brother saying uh, Tony Rock that he wanted to that he would fight him, as well as his other little brother Kenny Rock that they just brought up that he would fight him, and then the youngest brother also said that it's on site with Will Smith, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. But hey, who knows what will happen? But I have a short video here for you where Rose Rock actually says her words outright about what she thinks. Now, here we go. One moment. All right, here we go.
Will Smith made his first public appearance since the slap heard all around the world at last month's Oscars, arriving at a private airport in India over the weekend.
Yes, Will appeared to be in really good spirits as he arrived in Mumbai, where he was greeted by a group of paparazzi and even posed for some pictures with fans, including an airport security guard.
Meanwhile, Chris Rock's mom, Rose Rock, is breaking her silence on the shocking incident as she spoke with South Carolina news station Wiz 10.
So how is Chris doing?
He is doing well. Like he said, he's still processing it because that's not something you expect. Well, I told someone when Will slapped Chris, he slapped all of us, but he really slapped me.
Why do you say that?
Because when you hurt my child, you hurt me.
Do you know Will personally? Have you ever met him?
That's a problem I have with black mothers. And this is the only problem I have with black mothers. They still see their children as children. Your child is a grown ass man that can handle himself. Quit calling him your child. This goes for all black women out there. If you're looking at this show, please stop calling your sons and daughters your children. I understand it, but yes, they are, but they're grown adults. I even get it still. And I have to let my mom know. Look, gotta let my dad know sometime too. Hey, look, I'm a grown ass man. You talk to me as such. I'm not your child, your little boy anymore. Please talk to me as if you have some sense, because this shit can go left. And it's all due to respect. I respect my parents. I don't know if they respect me, but I respect my parents. It's just that treat me as the grown man that I am, and the grown man you raised me to be. Now, Let's keep going.
I have
Before,
never met him. He and Tony worked together on All of Us
yeah.
for a while, but I've never met him.
If you were able to have a conversation with Will, what would you tell him?
Oh my God, I have no idea what I would say other than what in the world were you thinking?
Mhm.
Because you did a slap, but so many things could have happened from that. Chris could have stepped back and fallen.
Yeah.
You really could have gotten taken out in handcuffs.
Mm.
So what was you didn't think. You reacted to your wife's giving you the side eye,
Yeah.
and you went up and you made her day because she.
Why do people keep saying that? And I'm sorry, Miss Rock, but come on. We don't know after the camera cut from Will and Jada what look Jada had on her face. If Will looked at Jada, we don't know. We can't keep saying that that you know Jada had a look on her face, and that's when Will reacted. We don't know the what it was. As we know, Will told Chris, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth," and that's what happened. He went up, he slapped him, came back, said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." He said it what 3 times. So there's some underlying stuff with that. We still don't know what that underlying stuff is, and I have not much, but Jada said that they may speak on it with season 5 of the Red Table Talk. So we can only wait and see what happens from here. So let's keep going.
Bowled over laughing when it happened.
Like, did you think that it was
I
staged?
thought it was at first until he started with the obscenities. Yeah.
Oh my
Obscenities.
goodness. And what were you able to do just from a distance at home?
You can't do anything. There's nothing you can do. I couldn't reach out to him at that point. There was nothing to do. And that's a hard thing for a mother.
And obviously the Academy has now suspended Will Smith from coming to the Oscars,
And
for
what
a
does
number
that
of
mean?
years.
You don't even go every year.
Yeah, because at one point the Smiths were boycotting the Oscars, and now they returned, for that award that he did win.
They boycotted a year they weren't even invited.
Oh, wow.
So it's all kind of funny.
So you don't think it was a true punishment?
Oh, no.
Leave it to mom to lay it out and say all the
Right?
things. Like all the things.
Yeah. As a mother, I totally get her a point of view. I mean, that was her son up there. And the fact is, Will Smith actually trained for Muhammad Ali. This guy knows how to throw a punch or a slap, whatever
No, he didn't train. He still trains to this day. Just let's get that in perspective. Let's keep going.
it is. And
Yeah.
the fact that Chris didn't fall back, like she makes a really good point about it. I was reading up on social how people thought about this whole response of hers. And a lot of people like, why don't you teach your son about not making jokes about Jada? We don't even know if he actually knew about her condition with alopecia when he made that joke. And I still think that Chris Rock is not speaking because I think he's going to.
I don't think he did, from what reports say, that it was news to him that night that he found out that she had alopecia. Now, from various, I'm sorry. Hold on, my under certain circumstances without authorization of the all right. Sorry, that was that was me. I'm sorry. But like I was saying, Chris Rock found out about the alopecia stuff that night, I believe, if not, a couple days or so later when he made his statements. But from what we saw, pictures of Chris Rock and Will, from the pictures, it seems though that they were good friends. But you gotta understand, like, there are events that happen. Most people are widely known, such as Chris Rock and Will Smith. So why wouldn't they have some sort of rapport with each other as far as, like, entertainment goes? But who knows the backstory? And and I think I spoke about this. I haven't spoken about this, I don't believe. But from like people talking about this, it's came out that the reason why he did the joke, Chris Rock did the joke. Now this is new. This was news to me. The word on the street is in the movie. So they say, if not in the movie, because I haven't seen the movie, G.I. Jane. But from what I understand, they said that either in the movie or Demi Moore's real life, she had a entanglement with a young dude. One of the young dudes that I can only think of is Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher, as you all know, Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were together in the early 90s. From what I understand, Ashton Kutcher was Demi Moore's oldest daughter's friend. And they got into a little entanglement. She cheated on Bruce Willis, and that's how that whole joke came about, because y'all fill in the blank with the Will and Jada stuff. But who knows what, the background parts of it is with that joke. Who knows? But let's keep going.
Charge somebody somewhere. I think there's something still that's coming down the road.
Yeah,
So
you could be right.
yeah,
But she makes, she speaks to all mothers when she says, you didn't just slap Chris. When something happens to your daughter or to my son or my daughter, you're only as happy as your.
All right, none of this is important. So let's keep going. I have another piece of an article. I think it was in People magazine. So Will Smith makes his first appearance. Let me get this picture up. Will Smith makes his first appearance with he's in Mumbai, India, and he took a picture with some fans and stuff. So the story goes is Will Smith appears to be in good spirits. The actor, 53, made his first appearance since slapping Chris Rock at the 94th Academy Awards late last month at a private airport in India over the weekend. Smith arrived at the location in Mumbai on Saturday, where he was greeted by a group of paparazzi who were awaiting his arrival. A source tells People that the actor traveled to India for spiritual purposes, to practice yoga and meditation. Now, I told y'all that already. I told y'all that, the week after it happened, when he said he's going to take some time off, and when he quit, I said he's going to go over. He probably was already in what's the big place in the, what's it called, the UAE, Dubai. He probably was over in Dubai chilling, and then probably doing some yoga and stuff like that. Now he's like, well, I want to make my spiritual awakening much better, so I want to go to a guru. Thus, he goes to India. Who knows what's going on with him now? But let's keep going. The King Richard star even took a moment to pose for pictures with a few fans, including one airport security guard, as y'all see right here on the side. For the outing, the father of three wore a white t-shirt, gray shorts over white compression pants, and a set of Nike sneakers. So, let's get into that as well. So, cue it up. Bring it on.
Will Smith! Come!
Will Smith spotted for the first time since slapping comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars after he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, resurfacing in Mumbai, India, of all places.
Will Smith!
The 53-year-old was all smiles as he posed for pictures with fans and waved to those looking on from a distance. The Oscar winner was greeted warmly as he went on to enter a building.
Now, a lot of people, right, they brought up that Will's rather gray. Now, you gotta remember, he's 53 years old. But they're saying, yeah, he's rather gray and he must be stressed out. Well, Will was stressed from all of the pressure after the slap. He didn't know how far this was going to go. So, he set himself up right. He said, I'm going to go over to the UAE, the United Arab, hold on. The United Arab of, I need to figure out what this means. UAE. Let's see. Yeah, United Arab Emirates. I was right. But yeah, he's probably over there chilling. He's probably listening to those Indian gurus talk to him about spirituality, how to deal with his emotions and stuff like that, how to become a better person, what they've known about things in their lives that they've changed. He's probably just getting all kinds of game from these people. So we don't know. Well, we can only speculate because it's Will Smith. All right. We don't know though. It's Will. Anyway, so yeah, let's keep going. Sorry.
The purpose of his trip is unknown.
Back at the table.
This is going to be an exciting one.
Meanwhile, back home, Jada is back at the red table. Her Facebook talk show returned for a new season last week. And while the first episode was about Janelle Monáe, Jada and the show took a moment to address the elephant in the room by sharing a message prior to the start of the episode. It reads, quote, "Considering all that has happened in the last few weeks, the Smith family has been focusing on deep healing. Some of the discoveries around our healing will be shared at the table when the time calls. Until then, the table will continue offering itself to powerful, inspiring, and healing testimonies like that of our incredibly impressive first guest. Thanks for joining us, Jada."
If we don't talk about it, we're not going to get to the other side.
The premiere episode for season 5 was filmed before the infamous Oscars incident, which led to the Academy banning Will from all official events for 10 years. Oh, wow! The decision to ban Will was made following a meeting held by the Academy Board of Governors, after which the president and CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences wrote an open letter, which reads in part, quote, "The 94th Oscars were meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage." The letter goes on to apologize for, quote, "not adequately addressing the situation in the room," and adding that they, quote, "fell short and were, quote, unprepared for the unprecedented." In a statement to ET, the 53-year-old King Richard Starr responded to the ruling, saying, quote, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision."
Will's wife really should have been given some consideration.
ET recently spoke with NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He believes that Jada's voice wasn't...
I don't think Kareem should be talking, because isn't his son in jail for killing their neighbor? I'm just pointing out the obvious. Anyway, but it is what it is.
Heard after Will's Oscar slap.
Well, I just felt that Will's wife really should have been given some consideration as to how she felt about it. and what she wanted to do about it. And I mean, they just ignored her altogether, and I didn't think that made much sense. She's the one that would have been offended if it was offensive.
I don't think it makes much sense that you're speaking out about something where you're anyway. we're just we're just moving along here. So Jada Pinkett Smith insisted for a family vacation in India. So that's probably the reason why he's made his appearance, because they had a family vacation planned already to be in India. So Will just went ahead beforehand, got all the other stuff out of the way. Then now he's in India with the family. They're taking a nice vacation with each other, and they're just doing their thing. So Smith, who had gone unnoticed for a long, resurfaced recently when he was photographed. One second, because I gotta get this stuff in here. Let me see if this works. It don't work that good, so let's do it like this. So was photographed, um, embracing admirers and even taking selfies with them at Mumbai Kalina Airport. A source revealed the Smith family's plan to take a vacation at this time in a new interview with Us Weekly. Before all hell broke loose and fire rained down on the Smith name all over the internet, their escape was already arranged. I don't know who the hell wrote this, but this is hilarious. Let's keep going. According to the insider. That's another word. Sources, insiders. So this story could be possible bull, but let's keep going. There has been talk of canceling the trip, but Jada insisted. The person added, meanwhile, Jada's Red Table Talk returned for its fifth season on Facebook Watch. The actress issued a statement ahead of the show's launch, which said the Smith family has been focusing on profound healing as a result of everything that has happened in the previous several weeks. When the time comes, some of our healing discoveries will be discussed at the table, implying that they may discuss the Oscars incident on the show to some extent. Now, with that being said, if they do, it'll probably be Will, Jada, the kids, probably Will's mom, Jada's mom will be there, and if they can get Chris Rock or Chris's mom in the fray, they'll probably all, it'll be a segment or a two-parter, maybe three-parter, where Will and the family talk first, then they bring in Chris Rock, possibly his mom as well. They speak about it. The moms speak how they felt about the situation. Jada and Will sits there and speaks, and we don't know what will happen with this. But if they do, that's probably the best thing that could happen. As far as bringing Chris's brothers, I would say no. Let them stay home. But depending on how far this goes, because like I said weeks ago, we just seen. I said Will Smith's life in a way is kind of like a movie. It's a superhero movie. We've seen the movie now. He took his break. The credits rolled. We have to see the mid-credit scene, which we're seeing now. This is the mid-credit scene. We haven't yet to see the not the post-credit scene. Yeah, the post-credit scene. We haven't yet to see the post-credit scene yet. So, if they go on the Red Table Talk, that'll be the post-credit scene to the movie, and then wherever his life goes from there, then that's what it would be. But this is the post-credit scene. He's being seen again. He resurfaced. He's in India. He's going to gurus. He's doing yoga and Pilates possibly to figure all this out, get his mind right. And then he'll talk about it when the time comes, if he chooses. Which I'm pretty sure people would like to know some insight of what he thinks about the whole situation and why he handled it the way that he has. But he's really no longer in the public eye in a way. He's no longer part of the Film Actors Guild. He's not part of anything of the sort anymore. You know, maybe within the 10 years they'll shorten it because, as I said before, Will Smith is a moneymaker when it comes to these movies. Will Smith's movies pull in millions of dollars. Some of his movies, y'all may say, well, his last few movies have been bold. Gemini Man was actually good. If you actually watched it all the way through, it was actually good. Gemini Man was good. What other movies has he came out with? Bad Boys 3 was good. Y'all probably didn't like it, but Aladdin was actually good. I liked Aladdin over The Lion King, and that's just me talking. What else? That's really about it. Like his recent movies that has came out, because he's been doing various shows. He had a Nat Geo show. If it wasn't Nat Geo, it was Discovery. Where he talked. The show is basically him learning about like wildlife and nature and how to deal with it and taking on challenges and stuff like that. He has his YouTube channel. He also has his Instagram. So we'll be seeing Will. We'll be seeing Will a lot. So to end this, I just want to say to end this, Chris's mom seems like a sweet woman, but Miss Rock, you didn't feel that slap. Come on now, like. I know the saying, I smack you so hard that your mama will feel it. You didn't. The smack wasn't even that hard if you look at it. Will's footwork didn't really look good. He probably didn't do what he had to do to his shoes. I don't know if you guys have dress shoes at all, but it's a process before you wear your shoes, what you're supposed to do to the bottom sole. You have that smooth sole, you need some grip, so you create grip by, cutting and doing some things to the bottom of the soles, but y'all probably didn't know that, and whatever. I have a few pairs of dress shoes, and I have I have grip to it. But certain dress shoes have grip if you buy them like that. But if you buying a high quality, good dress shoe, you do all that yourself. If you guys didn't know that. So, let's moving on to the next story. Miss Meg Thee Stallion has been in the news lately. Speaking to Gayle King of all people. Talking to Gayle King of all people on what's that? Good Morning America. She's on, I believe. Gayle King basically asked her some questions about the night that she got shot in her feet or her hoofs, because she is a stallion. So Anyway, let's get to the video at hand, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the article that I have. Let's go.
Was an argument in the car?
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like, we fuss about silly stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm. She was about to cuss.
But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to
right.
the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like he shot a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And I was so scared.
In the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window shooting. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, cause I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
All right. There was also another question, and I've read over my my article, but I'm not sure if it brings this part up. So Gayle King asks a question. Gayle King asked Meg Thee Stallion if her and rapper Tory Lanez have ever been intimate. She didn't ask it like that, but she did ask, the right way. Certain words I can't say here. I'm pretty sure I can say it, but I'd rather not. But she asked, were they ever intimate? And Megan takes a pause and then asks a question like, blah blah blah. And this is where I knew. It was a bunch of foolishness. Because anytime you ask somebody a question and then for clarity they ask you a question so they can come up with their lie, that allowed me to know that Meg and Tory were intimate at some point before or after uh, Megan's friend, I think she said her name was Kim, either started talking or something like that of some sort. Who knows? But let's get into the article. Monday morning, Meg Thee Stallion spoke at length with Gayle King about the July 2022 Los Angeles incident in which she was shot in the foot following a party at Kendall Jenner's home. Megan reasserted that Tory Lanez fired the gun after she got out of the car. She had been in with Lanez, his driver, and a friend of hers. Everything happened so fast, and all I heard in this is this man screaming, and Tory said, "Dance, bitch," and he's started shooting. Megan recalled. I might just call her Meg for short. Anyway, he shot a couple of times, and I was so scared. And onlooker called the police, and Megan told King that she was afraid to tell them she had been shot because they might escalate the situation. The George Floyd incident had just happened. The police are very much shoot first, ask questions later. Shoot first, ask questions later. So I'm like, it's a hot gun. Excuse me, it's a hot gun in the car. I'm bleeding. I've been shot. They're about to kill somebody. Something bad is about to happen, she said. Instead, Megan told the police that she had stepped on broken glass. Ouch, I've done that before. And to be honest, hold on. Let me get into my own personal dealing with stepping on glass. Stepped on a shard of glass this big. I don't know if y'all can see it, but about that big, right? I stepped on glass when I was 13 years old. So, I was rather young, foot healed up pretty well. I don't know if there's any broken glass still in my foot, but I knew, not that I knew, but for a period of time from from 13 up until maybe sometimes now, I kind of feel like a weird sensation on my left foot, because that's where I stepped on the glass. And if she did have stepped on glass, let me tell y'all this: she wouldn't have been walking because I couldn't walk. Like, even walking on my heel hurt because the wound hurt. So she would have just sat her ass down. Now, with a bullet, I'm not sure. Who knows? To be honest, it seems like Tori had a 22, but a 22 is even dangerous because the bullet's so small it can ricochet off bone and shit. So who knows? But just let y'all know, stepping on glass hurts. All right, it hurts. It hurts like hell. I'll put it like that. So Megan told the police that she had stepped on glass. I was just trying to protect all of us because I don't want them to kill us. Even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. I didn't want to see anybody die. She was taken to a hospital for treatment, but said that some small fragments of the bullet remained in her foot to this day. Megan also acknowledged that she had regretted not mentioning the gun to the police from the outset. Now, it's some pictures online that I can show you guys while I'm going over this. So let's see, Megan the Stallion foot. They got some of this censored. They don't have this one censored. So this is what her foot looked like after they operated on it. That's her foot. Now, if she got shot in her foot, it wouldn't have made a wound like that. It would have just been a slit, like it was mine's. And it would have gushed with blood, like mine's did. From what we saw that night, because it was footage, her foot was only... It was a great amount of blood coming out, but it wasn't as much as mine's was. That's how I matched it up when I stepped on glass compared to her getting shot. Now the bullet itself, she said, is fragments still on her foot. The bullet itself could have lodged in her foot to where no blood could have ran out at all. So, you know, but it was little droplets. You know, not little droplets, but it was enough blood when she was stepping when they were being arrested that, you know, I looked at it, I was okay. You know, it was dire, but it wasn't as dire because I was actually losing blood. Like I could have went into a coma if I would have lost enough blood, if not died. So let's put it like let's keep going. So let's see. Fragment bullet remained in her foot to this day. Megan also acknowledged that she has regretted not mentioning the gun to the police from the outset. CBS News also obtained text messages sent from Megan's friend who was in the car that was in the car to her bodyguard, which read, "Tori shot Meg." Megan refuted Lane's claim that the two had a sexual relationship and said that they had become close friends in part because they were both grieving over the loss of their mothers. I feel like I put the blame on myself because when my mom passed, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment, and I was letting so many people in. She told King, I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to feel like I got family, I got people that care about me. Lanes has pleaded not guilty to the shooting, but was arrested in early April for violating a pretrial protective order. In August 2020, Megan named Lanes as the shooter in an Instagram live following skepticism from a vocal subsection of social media users. Yes, this N word. Tory shot me. You shot me, and you got your publicist and your people going to these blogs lying and shit, she explained. In a 2020 interview with GQ, Megan Lanes offered her money not to speak publicly about the shooting, and in the CBS interview, she claimed that the exact sum of $1 million. Lanes has stoked skepticism in the years since via social media and Daystar, an album almost totally dedicated to his side of the story. He's also antagonized Meg in some places, like a video with the baby that featured Lanes uh, brandishing guns with a special close up on his foot. Meg had words for anyone who feels like she's lying about the way things went down. I know this happened to me. I'd rather play out in court, and the fact comes out everything when the facts come out and everything comes out than me having to plead my case. I'm the victim, she said. I'm not defending myself against anything. Something happened to me. Um, my foot started hurting just by reading this shit, to be honest. But in in other words, I don't feel as though it was a good idea for her to do this interview, knowing that she has a trial coming up. But the only thing I would say that she shouldn't have done is had the interview with Gayle King. That's the only person I feel as though she should have not did this interview with, because of Gail's track record when it comes to stuff like this. Like, to be honest, she was a part of the whole. She was a part of the whole R. Kelly scandal. I feel as though that's the reason why he's in jail, by getting him all worked up. Well, she should have been in jail any damn way, but I feel as though that she was a a chess piece in that, in him getting locked up. But I feel as though it's the same question that she asked R. Kelly. Well, not the same, but in the same realm of trying to get that information out. When she asked Meg about were they intimate, and the same way she asked Robert, that got him all messed up, and then she was like, Robert. I feel as though that it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea for her to do this interview, for the simple fact that they can now use this in court. Victim or not, they can use this in court. Everything's fair game when you're going to court. But I feel as though with her troubling answer that she had, with answering were they intimate. Now, us as onlookers, we don't know if they were together or not. That's just what they drummed up in the urban media and stuff like that they were dating, but we don't actually know if they were dating. Like, they said Meg was dating some rapper. What was that? YFN Lucci or some foolishness his name is. I think they said that they were dating at a time, which I don't feel as though that they actually were dating. They were probably just real good friends. Just like, her and Tory Lanez. I don't feel as though that they were intimate. Maybe they could have been, or her and Tory probably became close friends. Tory saw what Meg's best friend looked like and was probably trying to get up, in the mix with her friend. Now, let's see what Meg Thee Stallion's best friend looks like. Let's see. Let's see if we have any images here. And we do. This is a good enough picture right here. Now, Kelsey, that's her name. I said Kim. Now, y'all let me know if y'all wouldn't try to get at her friend right here. That's her friend. This young lady all the way to the right. That's Meg's friend. Now you tell me, Tory Lanez is a good looking dude. No homo. I'm not saying that because I feel I'm straight, but Tory is just a handsome looking guy. Pause. Why wouldn't her friend not want to try to get at Tory? Plus, he's rich. He's on the radio. He sells records. So she gets, to be in that life with, getting fast money along with him if she has a talent of some sort. So why wouldn't she not try to get with him? Now, if you guys want to watch the interview, it's over there on Good Morning America. It's 16 minutes long. I guess it tells in full detail the full story of what happened the night in question. So, I don't know. Let's just say this is a life lesson, really, to young girls. To watch the company that you keep. This is even for young boys as well. Watch the company that you keep. If you don't know the person that well, make sure you vet them out. All right, because you never know what could happen. It could even hurt your feet. So you just gonna have to watch who the hell you hang around. All right. Now, let's get into the next story, the last story of the top news of the week. That's not what I... Oh, yes. So, Elon, and I should have had his picture up first. I'll duplicate this real fast. Duplicate one picture. Put it down here. Let's get back. Elon buys Twitter for $44 billion. He overshot the actual value of the company, but he bought it for $44 billion. So let's get into this. April 25th, 2022, Elon Musk struck a deal to buy Twitter for roughly $44 billion. Twitter is nearing a deal to sell itself to Elon Musk to people with knowledge of the situation said, a move that could unite the world's richest man with the influential social networking service. An agreement could be announced as soon as Monday, which was probably this Monday, which it did go through. He bought it. But it'll be like 6 months up until he's actually running the company. They're just running some foolishness over there. So, the people, as soon as Monday, the people said Twitter's board was negotiating with Mr. Musk into the early hours of Monday over his unsolicited bid to buy the company after he began lining up 46.5 billion in finances for the offer last week, said the people, who spoke on the condition of uh, anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss confidential information. Now, I don't know how rich people take their money out, but I'm pretty sure you need some sort of permission to move those types of funds. So I'm pretty sure he made a deal, called his money dude, said, "Hey, I'd like to take out 46.5 billion. I got to pay my lawyers, and then the rest goes to them and their lawyers, blah 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 blah." Thus, he has Twitter now. Now, the two sides were discussing details, including a timeline to close any potential deal and any fees that would be paid if an agreement were signed. Then fell apart. They said the discussions followed a Twitter board meeting on Sunday morning to discuss Mr. Musk's offer. The people said obtaining commitments for the financing was a turning point for how the board viewed Mr. Musk's bid of $54.20 a share, enabling the company's 11 board members to seriously consider his offer, the people said. Twitter's stock opened 4% higher on Monday because people were buying Twitter stock for the simple fact that if Elon's taking over, it's going to be a good bid to get in on to buy some of that stock and see that bitch rise. That's just my own personal opinion. Stock, I'll talk about stocks in a minute, but whenever the Fidelity dude comes to my job, I'm telling him, look, I need you to invest in some Twitter. I need you to invest in, I'm gonna tell them some of the big tech companies whose uh whose evaluations right now are low. I'm gonna tell them buy those because the saying goes buy low, sell high. I'm gonna tell them I need this stock, I need this stock, and I need this stock. All right. Now, excuse me. An arrangement. Hold on. So at about $51 a share now. An arrangement is not yet final and may still fall apart, but it won't. But what has initially seemed to be a highly improbable deal appeared to be nearing an endgame. The situation involved Twitter and Mr. Musk remaining fluid and fast moving, the people with knowledge of the situation said. Mr. Musk, who has more than 83 million followers on Twitter, began amassing shares in the company earlier this year, declaring his intent to buy the company on April 14th and take it private. But his proposal was quickly dismissed by Wall Street because it was unclear if he could come up with the money to do the deal. Twitter also adopted a poison pill, a defense maneuver that would prevent Mr. Musk from accumulating more of the company's stock. Mr. Musk updated his proposal last week, putting pressure on Twitter to more serious consider his bid. In a security filing that was made public on Thursday, Mr. Musk detailed how he had put together financing from the investment bank Morgan Stanley and a group of other lenders, which were offering $13 billion in debt financing, plus another $12.5 billion in loans against his stock in Tesla, the electric car maker that he runs. He said he would use another $21 billion in cash by the rest of to buy the rest of Twitter's equity. A Twitter spokesman declined the comment. In previous public statements, the company had said its board was continuing to conduct a careful, comprehensive, and deliberate review to determine the course of action in the best interest of the company and all Twitter stockholders. Mr. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. The Wall Street Journal earlier reported Twitter's increased uh, uh, receptancy to Mr. Musk's bid. Wall Street was likely to view the openness of Twitter's board to Mr. Musk's bid as the beginning of the end for Twitter as a public company, with Musk likely now on a path of acquiring the company unless a second bidder comes into the mix. Dan Ives, an analyst at Wedbush Securities, wrote in a note on Sunday. Now, if you guys don't know what I just said, by them saying that the beginning of the end, because like I said earlier in the article, Musk, like most of his other companies, are private. They're private for the. You can still buy like Tesla stock and stuff like that. They're private public companies. Private by this. Private by he has no more shareholders in his company. He owns all his companies outright. He doesn't have a board of directors at all. Twitter, on the other hand, has a board of directors, and they're basically shareholders that hold more of the stock, so they get the stock and they get to tell the company where they want the company to go, so they can amass more money from the company. Now, this is the problem. This is the problem with most of these social media companies. Most of their investors come from a little place where Will's at right now. India, in the UAE. Most of the investors are from the Middle East. I'm not saying that that's a problem at all. I'm just saying this. A lot of the foolishness that's happening on social media right now is a result. Well, they're part of the result of these Middle Eastern investors, as well as other company, I won't say other organizations being a part of pushing their narrative of what's going on out in the world, such as the alphabet people. Now, who knows if I'm not even sure if non-profit organization can buy stocks. I'm not even sure about that. But y'all let me know. But by Musk acquiring Twitter, now some people are making comments because Elon Musk has another venture that he has going on right now called Starlink. Starlink is this. I don't know if you guys know what Starlink is. Starlink is a inhibitor. It's not an inhibitor chip. It's a it's a device. If you guys play video games, I want you guys to play Watch Dogs Legion. So in that game, people in the game, the characters in the game, and the NPCs, they have this little thing on the side of their head, and it lights up. That's kind of where Elon wants to go. what that does in the game, I'm not sure. But what his device is doing is giving you more bandwidth for learning. It Starlink also, he says, will cure cancer and all, but preferably anything that you see, read, or hear on the internet, you can now have it basically uploaded to your Starlink to where your brain then can process the information. How it's working, I don't know. They've gone through they're in their trial part now. Some of he has some guinea pigs, not actual guinea pigs, but he has animal guinea pigs that have this device on them. I don't know if they've gotten smarter or not. I'm not sure if they know. I don't know, but he wants to basically put a device on the side of people's heads so they can basically garner more bandwidth of information. He wants people to be able to learn a language in seconds. He wants to be able to have people understand information as it's uploaded on the internet. How this works, I don't know, but he basically wants to embed basically a microchip in your brain. Basically, that's like the simplest way I can basically say it. It sounds crazy, but look up Starlink. That's the only thing I have to tell you to do. Look up Starlink. Maybe I could bring it up a little bit right now, maybe. So, what is Starlink? So, let's So, Starlink, high speed, low latency. Using advanced satellites in a low orbit, Starlink enables video calls, online gaming, streaming, and other high data rate activities. Now, let's go to how does Starlink work. The idea is Starlink satellites can connect you to the internet. Starlink promises to deliver high speed broadband internet to locations where access has been. Okay, so this is his free internet service that he wants to put out, but I'm looking for the actual thingy that he's putting on the side of his brain that he wants to put on. So what? I'll be right. I'll be right back. Yeah. What is the device that Elon Musk wants to embed Neuralink? That's what it's called. I had Starlink and Neuralink wrong. So scratch what I said with Starlink. Starlink is his internet service that he wants to bring to the world. It's basically going to be free. Starlink is. Neuralink though, or Neuralink is a neutral interface technology company, but I should have asked what is Neuralink. So since I have this name now. Okay, here we go. So let me get rid of the chat real fast, and then let me bring this up. Boom. So let me see. Okay, y'all guys can see that now. Okay, so Neuralink's goal is to build something called a brain-computer interface that allows people to transmit and receive information between their brain and a computer wirelessly. So basically, the Neuralink is the wireless computer that you'll have on the side of your face. Basically, works like a phone in a way, which he's coming out with a phone. He has the Tesla. Tesla phone is about to come out soon, probably within the next few years. And then Neuralink is another thing that he has going on. So well, let's read that so y'all know I'm not saying nothing crazy. Where would Neuralink be implanted? But the current configuration of the Neuralink device, which has electrodes implanted close to the surface of the outer layer of the brain, known as the cortex, is not set up to conduct deep brain stimulation. So, what else? Boom. That's Neuralink right there. Is developing two bits of equipment. The first is a chip that would be implanted in a person's skull with electrodes fanning out into their brain. The chip Neuralink is developing is about the size of a coin and would be embedded in a person's skull. So this is basically where, if y'all seeing the picture, this is Neuralink. This is what it's gonna be. Oh, you guys can't even see that. This is what Neuralink is. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more. So, I'm going to implant it behind the ear. So, the outside part would be on the outside of the in back of the ear. Then they'll run the electrodes, fan it out into the brain. And this is the the outer part of your skull where it's going to be at. So it's basically when they make the incision, they're going to run it basically to the top of the skull, fan the electrodes out, so it can then, I guess, send. I don't know how he's doing this shit, but basically send information into your brain from the internet. I have no idea how he's going to do that, but it's quite the feat someone can take. Now, let's keep going. Mr. Musk's offer for Twitter is a 54% premium over the share price the day before he began investing in the company in late January. But Twitter's shares traded higher than Mr. Musk's bid for much of last year. Several analysts have said they expected Twitter's board to only accept a bid that valued in at a minimum of $60 a share. Twitter's stock rose above $70 a share last year when the company announced goals to double its revenue. But has since fallen to around $48 as investors have questioned its ability to meet those targets. Mr. Musk, 50 years old, has made clear that he sees many deficiencies in Twitter as a social media service. He has said that he wants to transform the company as a platform for free speech around the globe, and that it requires vast improvements in its product and policies. Now, one of the things that he wants done is an edit button. If you guys ever wrote a tweet on Twitter, you can't edit your posts. Even if you wanted to, you can't. The only way you can is if you delete the post, rewrite it, and then repost it. He wants an edit tab. Some people are saying that his acquisition of getting Twitter will, some way or another, Twitter will be involved into the integration of it. Some people are saying, this is evil what he's doing. I don't know the guy, so I don't know. I can't really tell you guys if he's evil, if he's not. Y'all can watch various episodes on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast of him being on there, and just listen to him talk. That's all I can really give you. Let's just listen to him talk. Let's see. Platform. Okay, Mr. Musk has tried to negotiate with Twitter using the service, uh, itself, threatening in several tweets that he might take his bid directly to the company's shareholders uh, in what is called a tender offer. A tender offer is a hostile maneuver in which an outside party circumvents a company's board by asking shareholders to sell their shares directly to them. He has also acted uh, irrationally on the platform, raising concern over how he might manage the service. Should he be in charge of it? On Saturday, Mr. Musk told aim at the billionaire Bill Gates. Took aim, sorry, at the billionaire Bill Gates, saying that Mr. Gates had taken a short position on the stock of Tesla, which meant that Mr. Gates was betting the car maker's share would fall. On Sunday, Mr. Musk tweeted that he was moving on from making fun of Mr. Gates. Even so, Mr. Musk maintains uh, amicable, amicable ties with some high-ranking members of Twitter. Over the weekend, Mr. Musk traded friendly tweets with Jack Dorsey, the company's co-founder and a board member. Mr. Dorsey stepped down as Twitter's chief executive in November and soon will be leaving its board. Both men share similar views on cryptocurrencies and on promoting more free speech online. When Mr. Musk briefly flirted with joining Twitter's board this month, Mr. Dorsey tweeted, "I'm really happy Elon is joining the Twitter board. He cares deeply about our world and Twitter's role in it." On Friday, Block, a finance service company led by Mr. Dorsey, disclosed that he had changed his title at the firm from chief executive to blockhead. Wow. Let's keep going. Got a little bit more here. That shift appeared to resonate with Mr. Musk. Your new title at Block is fire. Mr. Musk tweeted at Mr. Dorsey on Saturday using two flame emojis to signify his approval. Last year, Mr. Musk had changed his title at Tesla as chief executive to Techno King. So, if you guys don't know who Jack Dorsey is, Jack Dorsey has also been on various episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast as well. I told you guys, it was sometime last year, I told you guys to look at look at the Congress. I told you guys to look up Congress interviewing Jack Dorsey. What's the other guy's name from Facebook? But it was Jack Dorsey from Twitter, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, then Meta now. Who else? The chief executive officer of Google. I told you guys to look up those videos because it was like, I think it was like a 2 or 3 day thing, and it happened twice. Told you guys to look at both of those videos, or I think it is 2 videos, if not maybe like 3 or 4 maybe. Basically, Congress brought the big tech giants to the forefront, asking them various questions about their services and how possibly it could affect voting, but that's not the word I was looking for. Affect voting and political things and stuff like that. And Jack Dorsey said himself during I think it was 2016's election. He said he didn't know how something had happened when it came to like Donald Trump and his Twitter account and some other things. And then they spoke on censorship. They also spoke on a myriad of other things. Like, it was a whole bunch of other things, but they were important. They were important, and I can't stress enough how many times that this is important for you guys to look at. You guys should be looking at things like this because you use these services. You should be hearing what these leaders of these companies are saying. So I don't understand how y'all can just sit here and use these services and they're taking information from you and all sorts of other things and what have you. Now, with Elon taking over Twitter, will that type of backdoor thing stop? Who knows? But if Elon is as good as he says, y'all might see to where Twitter is going to transform in a way where it probably won't even need people's information to go forth in pushing things to you. It'll just give you suggestible things. But with Tesla, I've heard that takes away information from its users. But who knows? Who knows? Everything's up in the air at this point. He has yet to run a day of that company yet, so we're only speculating at this point. But to be honest, there has been a big thing happening on Twitter with the liberal left, the far left, and Democrats and Democratic politicians and stuff like that. It's a lot of people who have been leaving Twitter like in droves. And I just have to say with that, they're getting their panties in a bunch because Elon Musk wants to promote free speech, right? So Elon Musk basically is people are basically saying this about Elon Musk. they're basically saying that Elon Musk is a white supremacist and he's going to allow other white supremacists to go in there and talk crazy to black people and other people of other ethnicities. But we don't know if that's going to happen. People are saying that it's going to be even more dangerous for black people and other ethnicities. Sorry, and other people of other walks of life. Is going to be very difficult for people like that to be on that site. I call bullshit on that, but at the same time, this as well. They what else is being said? Twitter, like I said, is causing a mass exodus of people to leave. Now they're getting their panties in a bunch because they know that their little charade that has been going on for some time now, I think since 2014, if not 15, that their little charade that they've been pulling this whole time is going to end because he's taking the company private. They're scared out their goddamn minds right now. And that's the reason why most people are leaving. I will talk more on this when we come back from the break because tonight's show is about Twitter's mass exodus. So, that has been the news. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. We will take a 5-minute break. All right. So when I come back, more on the mass exodus of Twitter. But I have something to say before that. But the mass exodus of Twitter when I come back, and I will see you guys in 5. Yeah, yeah. Showing up in this. What's up, y'all? We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Now, before I get into tonight's story, I have something that goes along with it. Um, so basically, what I have is basically, the stocks of these big tech companies. Let's see, the mass collapse of big tech stocks have dropped in the past few weeks. And it's sad, but it's a good time. I have right in here. Sorry, I got something in my mouth. Okay. Um, it's a good time to buy stocks because you're gonna make a pretty penny from these stocks. And I have some pictures. I'm never eating chips again before when I get off of here for a break. All right, so let's get into it. The macro conditions were already troubling for tech, with the inflation at a 40-year high and the Federal Reserve signaling a series of interest rate hikes on the horizon. Investors started the year by fleeing growth, sending the Nasdaq in January to its worst month since March 2020. The early days of the pandemic, the outlook over the past three weeks have gone from bad to substantially worse. Russia's invasion of Ukraine last month rattled an already fragile stock market, which I don't understand what that would have to do anything to do with it. But anyway, sprinkling geopolitical unrest into the stew of vitality. Oil prices just spiked. Oil prices just spiked to their highest in over 13 years, and other commodity prices are on the rise on supply concerns as Russia is a key producer of wheat, palladium, and aluminum. Energy and utilities are the only places in the U.S. where investors are finding comfort, while everything else is getting hit. The highest growth tech stocks are proving uh, unpalatable to all but the most fervent industry bulls. The mood of the market is real foul right now for good reason. Snowflake CEO Frank Slootman told CNBC's Mad Money on Wednesday. Shares of the cloud data analytics vendor plunged even though revenue beat estimates and the company gave an upbeat forecast. Sorry. Snowflake is more than 50% off its 52-week high reached in November. That makes the company a relative safe haven compared to wide swaths of the tech industry. Numerous stocks have lost at least three-quarters of their revenue since peaking in late 2021. Now, check this out. Netflix. Y'all see that all the way on the far right. Netflix. Their stock has dropped 75%. 75. This is why. I'll say this is why. Because their subscriber base have left as well. after they came out and said, look, if you guys are sharing passwords and stuff like that, it's about to come to an end. Unless you live in the same home, we will upcharge people who allow people to use their passwords. Now, although their subscribership doesn't match the numbers of their platform, because some movies and videos have more views than they have subscribers. And they couldn't really be like, hey, well, what's the whole deal with that? Like, we don't have very many subscribers, but it's getting millions upon millions of views. I'm pretty sure Tiger King got at least 500 and some odd million of views, because that was a big thing back in the beginning of the pandemic. But since it's Cutie's whole ordeal and losing people, and now they pulled this with the whole we're taking people, we're gonna charge people extra if they're allowing people to use their passwords. That sent a lot of other people packing as well. So Netflix's stock has dropped 75%, which I would say to anyone that's watching, I don't know if Netflix is a volatile company right now. I would say that the company itself has possibly reached its course as far as like a dominant streaming service. Because, we have various other ones now. We have Hulu, Tubi TV, Crackle, Crunchyroll, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus. It's various other ones that's out there now, to where we don't have to. Because if you guys remember, was it last year, if not 2020? Various film companies or movie making companies have taken their movies away, because now, HBO Max as well. A lot of these companies now have their own streaming service of which these movies can be viewed on. So, like with Disney, you won't see another Disney movie anywhere else on another streaming service other than Disney Plus. You won't see who's with HBO. What's that? Sony or was that Warner? No, Warner Brothers. So you won't see another Warner Brothers movie anywhere else other than HBO Max. So I would say right now the dominant players in streaming are possibly Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, possibly HBO Max. I won't even say Hulu. But I would say the top four are probably Disney Plus is number one, Amazon Prime is number two, HBO Max is number three, and then Netflix as number four. They could be five, but never know. But yeah. Snowflake, 50%, I said that already. Some well-known names are down 90% or more. Byron Dieter, a partner at Bessemer Venture Partners and a cloud evangelist, said the median member in his basket of subscription software stocks is down 53%, and that price to sell multiples on average have compressed from 25 to below 12. This sector has just been pounded, and yet the macro trend remains very much intact. Dieter told CNBC's Tech Check on Monday. You continue to have these extremely high quality names, but they're on sale across the board. CNBC pulled a list of tech and tech adjacent companies currently valued at $1 billion or more that have lost at least 75% of their value from their 52-week highs. Here are 10 of the most notable companies U.S. stock plummeted last Tuesday, I should say, accelerating this month's sell-off on Wall Street as investors weighed a flurry of corporate reports against the backdrop of inflationary pressures and concerns over an economic slowdown. The S&P 500 fell 2.8% to cap the session, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 800 points, resuming losses after the index briefly recovered on Monday. The tech-heavy Nasdaq composite tumbled nearly 4%, logging its third biggest drop of the year and making its lowest close since December 2020. Meanwhile, U.S. Treasury yields retreated with the 10-year benchmark falling to 2.7%. I do think this is going to continue to be a market where we might have one step forward, two steps backward, term of absorbing some of the headlines that we're seeing. J.P. Morgan Asset Management Global Market strategist Mira Pandit told Yahoo Finance Live. April has historically been a strong month for stocks because it's right after is right during tax season. Basically, that's why. It has produced a positive return for the S&P 500 in 15 of the last 16 years. LPL Financial Ryan Dietrich pointed out in a note earlier this month. However, markets were wrought by Russia's war in Ukraine, continued worries around the Federal Reserve rate hiking cycle, inflationary and supply chain pressures, and fears the accumulation of these headwinds may result in an economic slowdown. We are seeing signs that growth is slowing, and there is talk of recession in the next year or two. Brad McMillan, Chief Investment Officer for Commonwealth Financial Network, said in an emailed note, adding, however, that what we have seen is a typical, if sharper than usual, market cycle. In the short term, it is painful, but in the long term, it really doesn't mean much, McMillan said. As long as the economy is basically healthy, which it is, and as long as policymakers are on top of things, which they are, companies will keep growing and making money. Investors are in the heart of earnings season, which the S&P 500's most heavily weighted components scheduled to report earnings result this week. Google's parent company, Alphabet. Google kicked off reporting from megacap tech names revealing first quarter sales that were roughly in line with estimates. The tech giant showed resilience in its key search in YouTube advertising businesses, shares fell roughly 4% in in extended trading. Facebook parent company Meta, Apple, and Amazon are set to report quarterly results on Wednesday and Thursday. As of Friday, 1/5 of companies in the index have reported results for the first quarter so far, with 79% reflecting an earnings beat for the period, above the 5-year average of 77%, according to the latest available data from FactSet. The magnitude of the earnings beat, however, is below the 5-year average, 8.1%, compared to 8.9%. The low The lower earning growth rate for quarter one 2022 relative to recent quarters have been attributed to both a difficult comparison to unusual high earnings growth in quarter one 2021 and continuing macroeconomic headwind. John Butters, a fact set senior earnings. I just like his name, John Butters. A FactSet senior earnings analyst said in a note, U.S. stock paralleled movements in global equality markets to start the week, with major stock indexes in Europe and Asia largely falling on renewed concerns a COVID outbreak in China may spur another wave of lockdowns and further disrupt global supply chains. If I didn't tell y'all here first, y'all wouldn't know. Even this man is saying it. I said that at the beginning of the year. I said that, was it last week? Yeah, last week when I did. It was if it wasn't last week, it was the week before. I said that with the whole Shanghai thing. Look, we're about to see some shit, but I'm talking about stocks, so let's keep going. I think the most interesting thing happening in China right now is not that the yuan's moving and not that the economy's slowing. It's that everything's that's happening right now we know weeks ago. China Beige Book CEO Leland Miller told Yahoo Finance Live. We knew that the economy was slowing. We knew they were not going to stimulate in a big way. We knew that lockdowns were spreading from Shanghai to other big cities. We knew the Fed was hiking. We knew there's a policy crackdown. So it is interesting that people are seeing today as a potential movement elsewhere in market shares of Twitter fell 4%. This is why I brought this stuff up. One day after the social media giant formally announced on Monday that it agreed to be acquired by Tesla CEO Elon Musk for $54.20 per share, or $44 billion. Twitter shareholders are set to receive $54.20 in cash for each share held, representing a 38% premium over Twitter's closing level on April 1st. Now I have some more pictures. So this is basically and you guys can't see that, so I might as well enlarge it. Hold on. So this right here is a breakdown. I don't know how to read it, but if there's any stock geniuses out there that can go over this, you guys, if you're on, please come on. Links right there. But this is basically everything. This is basically what the stock market is going through right now. And you have this right there. So this is basically just like, I guess, like the losses that have been taken and the points that have dropped and the percentages and everything. So I got them numbered because I have to go on with this story. So home prices. So 9:23 a.m. Eastern time, home prices jumped nearly 20% during February. So home price growth in the U.S. accelerated during the month of February, but a slowdown may be underway, which would basically be a good time to start looking into buying a home. Standard, so S&P stands for this. Standard and Poor's, I guess they meant repeated. I have no idea. Anyway, Standard and Poor's reported Tuesday that its S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller National Home Price Index uh, uh, registered at 19.8% gain during the second month of the year, up from 19.1% in January. So it only gained 0.7%. I guess that's good. So anyway, the figure marks the third highest reading since the index was developed in the 1980s. The 20 city results were higher than analysts expected of an 19.2 annual gain, according to Bloomberg consensus estimates. The 10 city composite annual increase came in at 18.6%, up from 17.3% in the previous month. The 20 city composite posted a 20.2% year over year gain, up from 18.9% in the previous month. The macroeconomic environment is evolving rapidly and may not support extraordinary home price growth from much longer, said Craig J. Lazara, managing director and global head of index investment strategies at S&P DJI, in a statement. The post-COVID resumption of general economic activity has stoked inflation, and the Federal Reserve has begun to increase interest rates in response. We may soon begin to see the impact of increasing mortgage rates on home prices, he added. I would probably say right now would be a good time to invest in one of them tiny homes. I saw one the other day that looked like something that I would buy. They folded like it came on. It looked like one of those. It looked like it came on one of those advertising truck, like the advertising sign trucks. Looked like it came on one of those. Before they folded it, I don't know. You could probably do like this to it, like hug it a little bit. That's how big it was folded. Then when they unfolded it, and then when you saw the inside, I was like, I think I would invest in something like that. Like I would possibly buy one of those tiny homes. The tiny homes, to me, like from what I saw, it's probably not even as big as my basement is. It's probably a little smaller, but I would take it. I would take it. But you know, but to me personally. I drive around a lot, like it's not part of my job, but like when I'm, if I'm trying to clear my head, I'll like drive around, mostly in Delaware. Um, and you see like the prices of homes, like they just built this new housing development on one part of this road, and I think they're going for like 300,000, and it's like, are you fucking nuts? And then you got like it's another housing development that's being built as we speak. But when I was living in PA, they was building this housing development, and that was in like the 200s. And hold on. Mm. When in doubt, always have a terrible tale. What was I saying? So yeah, that housing development had houses that was going for 200,000. But when you look at it, basically this is my whole thing. If I'm buying a home, I'm buying it for the longevity of it. Like I want to be in there. If I'm paying, if I'm paying 2,000 in mortgage a month with, let's say, I don't know, 600-700 in property taxes a year, if it becomes a headache, then that's when I'll sell it. But like, I'd much rather buy a home and be in it for the duration of my life. And that's just me speaking. Some people will say, well, you might get tired of it, you might want new surroundings. Yeah, I understand. But that's when you make a business out of it. You either Airbnb it or you rent it out. Make a business out of it. All right, so this is the last one before we get into the main topic. This is kind of like a side topic that I have. So 9:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe this was sometime this week. I can't remember. Pepsi Company ups full year revenue forecast on higher prices soda demand. So PepsiCo reported higher than expected quarterly earnings of $1.29 per share. I didn't even know it was that much. I would buy some. Beating the $1.29 per 23. Hold on, the $1.23 per share analysts had expected. According to Bloomberg consensus data, the beverage and snack maker also raised its full revenue forecast, viewed by higher prices and a rebound in demand for its soda at theaters and restaurants. Pepsi now anticipates fiscal 2022 organic revenue to rise 8% compared with its forecast of 6% increase. During the quarter, the company also reported taking a $241 million charge related to Russia-Ukraine crisis. Looking ahead, we will focus on controlling what we can, such as enhancing our focus on productivity and sharpening our revenue management capabilities, while also continuing to make the necessary long-term investments to fortify our businesses and win in the marketplace. PepsiCo CEO Roman LaGuardia said in the earnings release, shares of Pepsi were a little changed in pre-market trading. So here's another one of them videos, one of them pictures. Futures slip after stocks recover from losses in previous sessions. So I'm guessing this is it going up with the 10-year treasury there. Then you have the next one here are stocks. Futures were in post-market trading Monday evening. So this is it right there. Like I said, I don't know how to read these. So if there's anybody that does know how to read this, call into the show or write it in the comment section. I hope I ain't getting sick. I just got a stuffy nose. All right. So I'm gonna take this down. So again, your boy Elon has bought Twitter. So, with that being said, I'm going to play a short video and we're going to come right back.
Your headline tonight involving media, power, and politics. Tonight, the world's richest man has just bought Twitter for $44 billion. What this means tonight, how Twitter could now change who's happy, who's concerned, and what about those who've been banned, including former President Trump? Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef tonight.
Tonight, the world's richest man in charge of Tesla and SpaceX is set to become a media mogul. Twitter announcing that Elon Musk has bought the social media giant for $44 billion, writing, upon completion of the transaction, Twitter will become a privately held company. The New York Times reporting Musk negotiated the details with Twitter's 11-member board overnight and into the early hours this morning. The deal means Twitter stockholders will get $54.20 for every share they own.
So for a lot of shareholders, this is kind of a quick win. It's a very nice quick win. Simple.
Musk announced his proposal in a tweet just 11 days ago, calling it his best and final offer. He's long been critical of how Twitter manages content on its platform, telling a TED conference his takeover plan is about free speech.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square.
He's got well over 80 million users. He tweets a lot. He has been very public with some of his criticism about the platform. So he's putting his money where his tweets are. He's buying the asset.
Musk has talked about adding the ability to edit tweets and is promising to make Twitter's algorithm on how tweets get displayed public to build more trust. And he wants to eliminate spam, but he hasn't said whether he will allow banned users back on. That includes former President Trump, who told Fox News that even if he's reinstated, he intends to stay off the platform in favor of his own Truth Social.
Which I don't feel as though that, well, he could, but he has his own. Trump does. Truth Social. I'm not a part of it at all. I haven't really heard much about Truth Social. But from my like looking at like the App Store, like looking at it on the App Store, the Apple App Store, it's kind of like a Facebook clone in a way, sort of like a Facebook Twitter clone. And all of his followers are on there. Other people who like free speech, like it's basically a free speech app. That's all Truth Social is, as well as what Twitter is going to be in the near future. But yeah, this is basically just the beginning of everything. Like, we probably might see more free speech platforms coming in the near future. As of right now, I would say the two underground players in this is Truth Social, and another one is Fanbase. I don't know if you guys know what Fanbase is. Fanbase was created by Isaac Hayes Jr. Isaac Hayes is the late Isaac Hayes' son. Created Fanbase. Fanbase is an app where you basically people like me who aren't really seeing much growth here on YouTube, and when I do, it's usually just in views. It's not in subscribers. Last week I got an influx of viewers on one of my gaming videos. Yesterday wasn't that much, but the most I get in views with this show is probably like 80 to like 100 people watching. And that's not even like during the live. That's like over time after the video ends. But Fanbase, I could go on Fanbase and I could get paid for doing my show over there. Or if I was a rapper, I could get paid for my music or, what have you. So the two underdogs right now is Truth Social and Fanbase, which Twitter will be a part of that fray. And I would say to Fanbase and Truth Social, get yourself a Twitter account and start promoting the business. So that's really all I really have to say with Trump being reinstated to Twitter. We could see Farrakhan come back. We could see Alex Jones come back. To Twitter and what have you. Because if you guys don't know, these people, along with Trump, it was Trump, various other people, but the two people that I actually gave a damn of them being booted off from social media was Farrakhan and Alex Jones. Alex Jones, for the simple fact that with his platform and his content, he tells the truth about stuff that goes on not only in this country but in the world. Farrakhan for his religious insights and me being a man and getting that to the forefront or whatever. Real quick, I want to say this. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're new here. All right, boost me up. Hit that bell icon to all so you can get all my notifications once I go live, and hit the link right here on the side so you can come and talk to me about what I have going on tonight. All right, and I'll leave that up. So I'm gonna let this video play out and then I'm gonna get into the article.
And David, this move by Musk has been hailed by some who believe that Twitter had been too heavy-handed when it came to limiting speech. Others now concerned that Musk might be too.
Not only Twitter, we're talking Facebook, we're talking YouTube. Hell, it was a search engine that just went woke. DuckDuckGo. I promoted DuckDuckGo one time, and I it was just, hey, if you want a better platform where you can, search whatever. When this Ukraine thing happened, they said, well, we're not gonna have everything on here now. We're gonna limit some things of what it said, and that's when some people said, you know what, forget DuckDuckGo. It's another one that it's another search engine that's out there. I just forgot what it's called. that basically did the same thing that DuckDuckGo did, and then it's another one as well. It takes longer to search things, but it accumulates everything that you need in like 3 to 4. Nah, it's like a 1 to 2 minute window, and it takes to load the information that you need. I just forgot what it's called, but I'm gonna let this play out, and then I'm gonna continue.
Bottom line is, if this deal goes through by the end of the year, the richest man in America will own one of the most prominent and important social media networks in the world. David?
But y'all gotta remember, one of the other richest men in the world, which is Jeff Bezos, he owns the Washington Post. Although the Washington Post has gone woke, and they just doxed somebody too from the libs of TikTok. They just doxed somebody, and then they lied in an article stating, I don't think it was an article, I think when someone asked the person who did the actual thing, they lied about it. They said, no, we didn't do that. And it's like, well, it's right here that you dox these people, and they basically shrugged their shoulders like, no, we didn't. And it's just getting crazy with censorship, doxing people, stuff like that. We need to see some sort of change in this country as far as when it comes to speech, because here's my deal. Because I remember, if you guys remember me saying this earlier tonight, I had said that black people that with this whole acquisition of Twitter, Elon Musk is going to allow white supremacists to say crazy things about black people. This is my whole thing. If you believe in free speech, then that means you believe in all speech, even hate speech. Me, myself, personally, I'm all for hate speech. Why can't I hate in speech? It's a part of my God-given right to speak freely in this country about any and everything I want to talk about. Why can't I say something in hate in speech? Why? Because it hurts the other person? Okay, I understand that. But if they understood that speech in this country is free because it says it in the First Amendment, you can also do what? You can sue me for saying the very thing that I'm saying, because that is what this country was built upon. So why can't I hate in speech when I talk? Because you fear that I in some way hate you. I don't hate you. I hate the very well, I won't say some, but the very thing of what I'm speaking of. Sometimes it's never the person. It's always the thing. If I'm talking in hate about something, it's never a person. If I hate a person, I'll say, I hate this person. But I don't really hate anybody. I don't really hate anybody. I dislike people, but I don't hate anybody. But yeah, it's just these liberals and the far leftists, they're getting out of hand. Like, we can't even say certain stuff on these social media platforms without having the fear of losing our pages. It's like, I have to watch my mouth now, although I have a channel that I can back some of this stuff up on, but I'd rather not. So I have to watch what I say. I have to watch what comes out of my mouth. I have to watch. Like I said, was it last year when? Yeah, it was last year, if not the year before. I think it was last year when I did a show on the Fauci emails. When that show was done, YouTube took it down because it didn't fit the narrative of which they were presenting, of which they're trying to say that it was the CDC in the world in the World Health Organization. Like, it's like, nah, man. This is my God given right to speak this way. Like, I did that video about Fauci's emails and what all was in them. And it was a little email that I presented, which I believe I remember the page number of that email. I think it was page 2236. If it wasn't that one, it was page 2136 or 46. Either or. It gave basically the compound information of the very thing of made the pandemic happen. But they took that video down. So it's sad.
Ariel Reshef tonight. Ariel, thanks.
All right. So, leaked recording reveals woke Twitter staff warning bosses of mass exodus. Now, if you guys don't know, and I just learned this Thursday night or Friday morning, really, when I came home from work, that Twitter employees, most of them are activists. Now, some people may say, well, Marcus, what's so wrong with that? This is the problem. Now, activists are all about whatever they're fighting for. Most of these activists in this company are for the liberal agenda, such as the Alphabet People, Black Lives Matter, this Ukraine thing, you name it. If it's liberal, then that's what they stand for. We don't need people like this in these companies. We need people in these companies like Elon Musk who basically don't want someone else's narrative to shadow over the importance of what this service was meant for. As you guys know, Twitter is mostly reading. You see very little pictures on there. So, by him stating that this is like the world's town hall, then if you look at it that way, it really is. A lot of political talk happens. Basically, Twitter is for grown people. If you look at it like this, it's for grown folks like myself who want to know what's going on in the world. You can leave the Instagrams, the TikToks to the kids and the Snapchats. You can leave that for people who don't really care about what's going on in their world. Those are people I say are the people who like being surprised at stuff. They don't really like knowing actually what's going on in the world. Now, if you take like Facebook really now in this iteration is more so for like your 40, 50, 60 something, 70 somethings. You know, like it's people my age that's on there, but and younger, but if you really look at it, it's for those types of people. So thus they have news on Facebook now. Thus they have, for the youngsters, they have Facebook gaming. For people who want to watch a good show, they have Facebook Watch now. It's mainly, if you look at it, it's for your late 30 something, your mid to late 30 somethings on up. For like the Snapchats, Instagrams, and TikToks, those are for like your high school, like your middle school, like your 8th grade and high school and college students. That's what those are for. And then you have TikTok, which is for people in their 20s who actually give a damn about the world around them. Your 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds on up. That's what Twitter's for. It's for people who want to get news, and if you guys don't know, news comes to Twitter much faster than what you see it on your television. So I will tell you guys, download Twitter and start to look for stuff. Because you might learn something this month that might come out next month. And you go, oh, well, I saw that already. All right, so let's get into the topic. I didn't know my time barrier, because I usually like being on here for like 3.5 hours. Really don't like going on for 4, but if I do, I usually allow it. But I like being on here for 3.5 hours. But when I start getting people calling in, that's when my show will start being a lot longer. I probably won't say a lot longer. I say probably an hour longer. When I stop at 8:30, when I stop at the 3.5 hour mark, anything past that, an hour after, will be me talking to people at that point. So hit the link, all right, if you want to extend this show. Now, to get into this article, Twitter employees have warned of a mass exodus of staff when Elon Musk takes over the company, which I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is already interviewing people right now as we speak. With one describing the world's richest man as a person with questionable ethics. Staff on Monday were invited to an all-hands meeting via video link, hosted by CEO Parag I don't know how to say this name. Agrawal, Parag Agrawal, and Brett Taylor, the chair of the board. Questions submitted by staff during the 45-minute meeting were read out by the chief marketing officer, Leslie Berlin. One question asked in a recording obtained by Project Veritas was, how does the board and Mr. Musk plan on dealing with a mass exodus, considering the board of Mr. Musk plan on dealing. Oh, I said that already. Hold on. How does the board and Mr. Musk plan on dealing with mass exodus, considering the acquisition is by a person with questionable ethics? Taylor replied that one of the themes of today is continuity. He said, the question of attrition, as Prague, I should say, stated one of the themes of today is continuity, and ensuring that Prague and this leadership team continues to operate the business successfully on behalf of our users, on behalf of our customers, and that have obviously been a big topic of discussion at the board. And as I mentioned, an area that is important to Elon Musk as well, because of the importance of Twitter as a service. Now, also, which they probably may not bring up in this article, because I was kind of unprepared a little bit today, but I'll give you guys the knowledge that I know. So, I don't think they had. I don't think I got. Yes, I don't think I got that tweet from him. I might as well go to his Twitter now. So Elon Musk put up a tweet, and it happened. It happened at sometime this week. But here's the tweet. This gentleman right here on your left here is Tim Pool. I watch this show frequently. You guys should as well. And then this is, I think this is the legal arm. Yeah, I think it's the legal arm of Twitter. I forgot her name, but that's not important. So basically, and I see they got this video on the side, so I'll play that as well. So this lady during the meeting started crying for some apparent reason. I don't even know why she was crying, but basically this tweet was Elon Musk's tweet this week, where Tim asked her a question on the Joe Rogan Experience, and basically asked her, "Here's an example of Twitter's left wing bias." Basically, Tim Pool asking, "Why is Twitter left leaning when it comes to certain political and social norms or whatever?" So she replies, "We have to take the context into consideration." So he asked her, Twitter's interpretation of the context is affected by their left wing biases. She then replies, "I would need to see an example of that," and then it just keeps going into a continuous circle, right? So let me you guys can't hear that.
You're a person, you traitor, Remainer, white genocide supporting.
It was because. Do you know why he got banned from Twitter?
I can see there was the use of a Jewish slur.
How do you use it?
To a person, you traitor, Remainer, white genocide supporting Islamophile, Jewish slur lover. That should keep you going. Hashtag Hitler was right.
It was because.
So, that basically, like, with that, like, they're going through a lot at Twitter right now, because for all that they know now is about to end. It's really about to end, and everything that they've been doing since I'll say 2016, but let's give them a year. Since 2015, everything that's been happening since then is about to end now. Since Elon is a part of, is now the head of the company, but not yet, not until like December sometime he will. So we got some time, but I don't think I have this in here or not. I gotta check. Let's see. No, I don't. Like I said, I was unprepared today. I was supposed to give you guys, supposed to have another article attached to this, but this is what I'll say. What was I about to say? I totally forgot what I was about to say. Oh, here we go. So, since Monday, when Elon acquired the company, something afoot was happening over at Twitter. And some people are saying that this could as well spark a like, you know how Facebook shut the app and the website down for like 14 hours. They're saying that this could possibly happen with Twitter before Elon fully acquires the company. Elon, not Elon, sorry. So since a lot of people have been leaving, as far as like the liberals, a lot of like blue check mark people have been experiencing this. Either they've been experiencing follower drop off, but the most important one is a lot of your right, like the people on the right, um, they have like basically the left has been experiencing follower drop off. A lot of people on the right have been experiencing follower. They've been seeing an influx of new followers. So the question of shadow banning has been on the table on various podcasts. Well, I have a podcast myself to put this on the table. I think that's what they're doing. They're basically doing this. Elon's in this, and I'll share this as well. After I say this, so this whole shadow banning thing, it sounds like it's true, because if a lot of the right has been gaining followers, how has the left been losing followers? This is by like hundreds of thousands of each person, of people on the left. They've been losing hundreds of thousands of people. Well, I'll just say like 100,000. I won't say hundreds of thousands. I'll just say some people. Let's just say this: some people, and the guy Tim Pool I just showed, he said that he was losing 100 subscribers a day. He said he looked either Monday or Tuesday and saw that he had gained people, which is weird because it's like how does that happen? Like how does that accumulate when it comes to losing people, but then seeing you have an influx of people? Like it doesn't really correlate, which means there has probably was some shadow banning going on in the company. And this is the one thing I wanted to share. Before Elon comes on board, they're probably cleaning house, and they're probably cleaning up the algorithm of shadow bans. They're probably like, we don't want anybody to see this stuff. We gotta get all this. We gotta scrub everything. But here's a little thing. Elon told his lawyers. Elon sent a memo to Twitter, basically stating, "Don't touch anything," because when Elon comes in, he's gonna want to go over that code, because one of his plans is to allow Twitter's source to be open, like an open source thing, so other people, probably in other countries, other developers, can create a Twitter-like app or website. Because amongst all of the other social medias, Twitter is rather unique. So some people may want to duplicate the code and make it, something different or whatever. We may see, if Elon does do that, we may see other apps come out that might be amazing to experience. So, it's just, until we get to that point, let's see what happens with Elon's when Elon takes over Twitter, possibly by the end of this year, the early of next year. So end of 2022, early 2023, we'll see what Elon's Twitter will be within the near future. So let's continue. What was dude's name? Prague. I just call him Prague. So Prague said he has seen many questions about the process, about share schemes, and about working conditions in the future. He said much was still to be clarified. Staff were told there would be no layoffs at this time, but no guarantees were provided when Musk takes over. But in a sign of the possible internal unrest, new product launches were delayed amid fears. Bloomberg speculated that employees could go rogue and push something or mess with the product on the way out the door. Now we all know that's illegal. So if they do that, Elon is going to basically send those people into is it arbitration? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's keep going. Prague told employees that their stock options would convert to cash when the deal with Musk closes, which he estimated would take three to 6 months. According to the New York Times, he also said that they would continue to receive bonuses according to Twitter's vesting schedule. Employees would receive their same benefits packages for a year after the deal was finalized, Prague said. Well, Prague added. He said he would try to arrange a staff forum with Musk and said that he would remain at the company as CEO at least until the deal was finalized. He wants Twitter to be a powerful, positive force in the world, just like all of us, Prague said of Musk. He believes Twitter matters. He urged employees to operate Twitter as we always have, adding that how we run the company, the decisions we make, and the positive changes we drive that will be on us and under our control. Twitter employees are sharing their concerns in internal chat rooms, messages seen by the New York Post show. We're all going through the 5 stages of grief in cycles, and everyone's nerves are frazzled. One senior staff software engineer reportedly wrote on the company's internal Slack channel. The staffer called Musk an a-hole and tried to console his colleagues. Sorry. We're all spinning our wheels and coming up with worst case scenarios. Trump returns. No more moderation. The fact is that Musk has not talked about what he's planning on doing in any detail outside of broad sweeping statements that could be easily seen as hyperbolic showboating. He added. So one site reliably hold on. Okay, yeah. One site reliably hold on. One site reliability engineer wrote that it was physically cringy watching Elon talk about free speech. A senior staff video engineer announced his plan to quit, saying, "Not the place to say it, perhaps, but I will not work. I will not work for this company after the takeover." Come on, dog. You doing too much. Like, how you going? Now, with the one statement that was said, where is it at? Now the one guy said that it's physically cringy watching Elon talk about free speech. Why? Because he doesn't come from a country that has free speech. I don't know if South Africa has free speech or not. Let me check. Does South Africa have freedom of speech? Yes. Let's check. Section 16.1 of South Africa's constitution states that everyone has the right to freedom of expression, which includes freedom of the press and other media, freedom to receive or impart information or ideas, freedom of artistic creativity and academic freedom, and freedom of scientific research. So they do have some form of free speech over there in South Africa, where Elon Musk is from. So let me bring his picture back up. There he goes. Oh, jolly. Now, the employee unrest began as soon as Musk's successful takeover was confirmed on Monday. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I really don't want to work for a company that is owned by Elon Musk. One staffer said, according to New York Times reporter Talman Smith. Smith's sources told him that it was absolutely insane in the internal chat rooms. Another Twitter employee reportedly complained, "I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Oh my God, my phone's been blowing up. We have a meeting about it at 5 p.m. The CEO is going to address everything about it, and it equals Elon. I hate him. Why does he even want this?" He also revealed he planned to enhance the product with new features and make the algorithms open source to increase trust. But within the 1 second before we turn the page. Within the company, there were turmoil at the announcement. I feel like he's petulant. He's a petulant little boy, in that he's doing this to troll. He doesn't know anything about our policies and what we do. His statement about our algo was effing insane. We're just gonna let everyone run amok. Nobody knows. The employees said. Nobody knows, the employees said, according to the New York Times. So, here is the next video I have for you guys. I'm pretty sure it's my last video of the night. But this is what is going on over there at Twitter.
And there it is, the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange, signaling the end of the trading day. The Dow spent most of the day down, but did rebound to close the day up around 250 points. The Dow cut almost a 500-point intraday loss. The S&P 500 climbed 0.5%, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite gained over 1.2%.
That's not the video. That went along with the first part of the story. I don't think she brings up Twitter, so I'll bring on...
Twitter employees are freaking out over Elon Musk's takeover of the social media platform, and they're showing just how outraged they are by tweeting about it. Mark Meckler is the former Parler interim CEO and president of Convention of States. Mark, good morning to you. Before we get to the Twitter employee outrage, and boy, there is so much of it, I just want to get your reaction on Elon Musk buying Twitter. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel fantastic about it. I think it's a necessary strike for free speech, and I think he's the one guy who might have the potential to fix Twitter.
Well, not everybody feels that way, including people inside Twitter. Check out this tweet from an engineer. His name's Eric. He says, the news today is so crazy. I literally forgot I had COVID. And another employee named Chloe says, totally understand that this is entertainment for some, but please know that this is certainly not entertainment for me. How do you feel about this backlash from inside Twitter? And what sort of advice would you give Elon Musk going forward now that these are going to be people working for him?
Well, first, it just demonstrates clearly and confirms the true bias inside Twitter that this is how folks feel about a guy whose only statement really about taking over Twitter is that he's going to increase transparency and increase free speech. They're freaking out on that. That demonstrates their bias. And I would say to him that he's got the deep state of Twitter inside Twitter. He's going to have to do a very good job of cleaning Twitter of those kinds of people. I think anybody who's tweeted like this, he should relieve them of their duties. He should remove them from the company. He's going to have to start again really deeply inside with removing management and creating the right kind of a management structure that promotes free speech and transparency.
Well, you are right about the transparency and the fact that this is also all about just evening the playing field and making sure everybody has the same voice, the same power to promote their message. So if Elon Musk does do this, takes over Twitter, there's not going to be any more censorship of stories Democrats don't like the New York Post Hunter Biden story. Do you think that that could impact future elections?
I think it can. Part of the question is going to be the pace of cultural change at Twitter. This deal is not projected to close until after the end of the year. So that means it's a limited amount of influence that he can have before the end of 22. So we might not see the full influence of the changes until the 2024 election.
And really quickly, thinking back to Parler, when Parler was kicked off, Apple, Google Play, Amazon, it was one of the most extreme examples of coordinated censorship of a largely conservative platform. If Elon Musk goes the route of free speech, angers people in the tech sphere, could that happen to Twitter?
Yeah, I don't think it can happen to Twitter because Twitter's far too large. And I think Musk has the capacity, both financial and his tech savvy and connections in the tech industry.
As well as Twitter and Apple Elon and Apple has they don't have a big relationship, but they have a big enough relationship to where I don't think Tim Cook would do that. Because Apple at a time, because if you guys don't know, Apple is trying to develop the Apple Car. We don't know when that's coming out. Probably sometime next year, maybe. I'm not sure. We might see a sample product of that pretty soon, maybe. And if not next year, sometime. But Apple wanted Tesla to manufacture their Apple Car. I think he has declined. Elon declined it because they had several meetings with him. Or if they didn't want to work with him directly, I think they wanted his expertise as well. Or I think they just wanted his expertise in the whole rechargeable car market or whatever. But yeah, Apple will be coming up with their own car pretty soon, and Elon Musk is to thank for his success in the rechargeable car market. But as well as this too. People want, well, not people, but some folks in government want a better, cleaner world. So they want to get away from like the whole fuel emission thing and pollution on that end, and then they want to bring in these electric cars that don't give off any emissions at all. So, that's what's about to happen. But to her question, no.
To have a completely secure technological stack. And in fact, I think Twitter has most of that in place already.
That's good news there. Mark, thank you for joining us. We so appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Brian.
All right. So, that's my second to last video. So I have a little bit more of this, and then on to the last video. Then we're going to be closing the show out. I have to check my time as well. Yeah, I think I can get it within that time frame. All right. So some Twitter staff were openly rebelling against Musk. One observer noted posting a screenshot of Twitter's official GitHub site and posting a public response entitled "The Algorithm" with zero code. I didn't bring that video up. Not video. I didn't bring that picture up for the simple fact that it really hasn't. Like basically, it was a screen that had nothing in it. That's basically all it was, and I wasn't about to show you guys that, so it was a bunch of foolishness. But yeah, let's see. Twitter was flooded with user reports of high-profile accounts losing thousands of followers in the hours after news broke that Tesla CEO Elon Musk, or Techno King Elon Musk, would purchase the social network. The company said Tuesday that the fluctuation in follower count came from organic account closures. Some accounts on the political right, including that of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican from Georgia, saw their follower count skyrocket. Greene, who boasted 539,000 followers the day before news of Musk's takeover, had 645,000 followers by Tuesday evening. Former President Barack Obama, the most followed user on Twitter, I don't follow him, whose number had increased every day in April, lost more than 300,000 followers after Monday's announcement. Twitter did not provide an exact number of accounts that were shuttered and activated in the hours after the ownership announcement Monday. It said it was looking into the recent fluctuation in follower counts while he continued to take action on accounts that violate our spam policy, which can affect follower counts. These fluctuations appear to largely be a result of increase in new account creation and deactivation. So this is basically what's happening. I'll explain this picture. So where am I at? Okay. So this is what's happening. What you see on the left is people that are either being reinstated or miraculously saw that their account started working again, or people who have came back to Twitter after Elon's acquisition. And then you have Sean King of anybody, aka Talcum X, basically say on his Twitter account that he's going to leave. I'm gonna bring up his exact quote in a minute. So let me type in his name and then we'll see what he actually said. Sir Talcum X himself. Now, how does he spell his name? Is it Sean Sean or is it Shawn? If I can't find anything, then I'll hold on. Is anybody... Okay, it's SHAUN. So many ways to spell Sean, so little time. Alright, so... Let me see if he writes anything else. Okay, he has some retweets. Just trying to see if he wrote anything else other than what he did the other day. Alright, he didn't. So, here it goes. Make this a little bigger. Alright. So at its root, Elon Musk wanting to purchase Twitter is not about left versus right. It's about white power. The man was raised in apartheid by a white nationalist. He's upset that Twitter won't allow white nationalists to target and or harass people. That's his definition of free speech. Let's read some comments from this. Elon Musk has openly called himself a free speech abolitionist and said, I don't think you guys can see all that, and said that he wants to create a space where anything can be said about anyone. That's why white nationalists are giddy today, here on Twitter and other platforms that I track daily. And listen, I don't even like the Democratic Party. So for me, this isn't about left versus right, not at all. It's about how the richest man in the world, a son of apartheid, raised by a white nationalist, wants to be sure his speech and that of other white men, it's censored. Are you fucking nuts? Like, are you nuts? Let me guess. They're trying to say this is his dad. Anyway, let's keep going. What? Now oh, wow. Wow. They have their pronouns, the flag that they identify with, the country they identify with, in the Ukrainian flag. Which means this person is about a whole bunch of bull-ish, for real. Now, Sean speaks for all black people in the LGBTQ. He does not speak for all black people. I'll say this right now. Talcum X himself speaks for himself. That's the reason why we haven't seen him since God knows when. In the LGBTQ community, I don't know if he does or if he does not, but whatever. We are not safe. Twitter is for us. No, Twitter is for everyone. They, them. What the hell? I say this as a member of the LGBT community. You don't speak for me. I'm perfectly open to Elon buying Twitter if it means everyone's idea and thoughts can be shared. I just hope people are mature enough to debate healthily. The tears of my enemies. Extra salty. That is hilarious. Y'all keep pulling that racism card and try to stop everything y'all don't like, and people are going to stop taking it seriously. And then someone else writes, "Who's y'all?" He made the case by present facts. Musk is from apartheid South Africa. Several workers at his Tesla plant were racially targeted without zero help from Musk's HR. Now, if y'all don't know what this is about, so I'm guessing it's a part of his Tesla plant. Before you walk through the doors, it has a sign that says "Welcome to the slave ship" or something like that. It is mostly where the black people work. So it's a a black Tesla employee that is suing the company right now, and from the talks of it, if he wins, it's gonna be the biggest win ever in California history. Now, does Elon have some sort of racial practice going on in his company? We don't know because we all don't work there. When will we know? Who knows? Who even knows if the guy who's suing is going to speak out about this? Who knows? All right. Someone else says, "Are you mad that he's an actual African American?" That is so hilarious. Oh shit! If you look at it, technically he is. He's an African American. Um, what do you have against African Americans making power moves in order to give everyone a voice? I thought you were for diversity, inclusion, and equality. Shame on you for such bigoted rhetoric against the African American man seeking to give everyone a voice. That's hilarious, but that is also true. Um, I understand. I understand what you are saying and agree with most of it. I don't think this is a white nationalist issue. It's more a class issue. He's a billionaire, and if he makes Twitter not censored like they do now for their corporate interests, then I'm in. I'll say one more. The Verge just released an article. Let's get into it. So I am told this morning that Apple and Google will remove Twitter from the App Store if it does not moderate and remove hate speech under Elon Musk. It's this isn't a new policy, but a commitment already made. Amazon Web Services has the same commitment. So there's that. So the person writes, based off what evidence? This is an opinion that isn't backed by facts. I used to really admire you, but based off your recent narratives and involvement with relying high up information from honestly starting to think you've got ties to multiple U.S. intelligence agencies. Ooh, that was pretty loaded. I think this would be my last one. For those of you who don't know, here's the attribution page from Klaus Schwab's book. Make sure to read it all the way through. He's obviously the voice of deep state. So, if y'all don't remember, I did a story about the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab's statements, and this is from his book, which I will be buying soon. And it states, at least 4 billion useless eaters shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemics, fatal rapid-acting diseases, and starvation. Energy, food, and water shall be kept by sustenance levels for the non-elite, starting with the white population of Western Europe and North America, and then spreading to other races. The population of Canada, Western Europe, and the United States will be disseminated more rapidly on other continents until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion, of which 5 million will consist of Chinese and Japanese races, selected because they are people who have been regimented for centuries and who are accustomed to obeying authority without question. From time to time, there shall be artificially contrived food. What? And water shortages and medical care to remind the masses that their very existence depends on the goodwill of the Committee of 300. Whew, I might have to go ahead and buy that book. I gotta see what the hell that book is talking about. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is that basically people are they're leaving. They don't want any dealings with Twitter anymore for the simple fact is that they don't want a space to have free speech like it does or like it will, because they want it to stay the way that they've known it for the past 7 years. And I forgot my place. I'll just read over a part. Twitter did not provide an exact number of accounts that were shuttered or activated in the hours after the ownership announcement Monday. It said it was looking into the recent fluctuation in follower count. While we continue to take action on accounts that violate our spam policy, which can affect follower counts, these fluctuations appear to largely be a result of an increase in new account creation and deactivation. Twitter said in a statement, some prominent Twitter accounts have lost thousands, and in some cases hundreds of thousands of followers after it was announced Monday that the social media network accepted Elon Musk's price of $44 billion for the platform. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO has promised to restore free speech to Twitter following the acquisition, leading to threats by high-profile users to leave the platform over concerns about more hate speech on the site. The activations were reflected in some users almost immediately reporting a massive drop in follower counts. Twitter did not confirm how many accounts were deactivated since Musk's announcement, but told NBC News that it is looking into the recent fluctuation in followers, which it says come from organic account closures. While we continue to take action on accounts that violate our spam policy, which can affect follower counts, these fluctuations appear to largely be results of an increase in new account creations and deactivations. Twitter said in a statement on NBC, "We'll continue looking into the follower count fluctuation and keep you updated." An anonymous spokesperson at Twitter told NBC News that the account that experienced the largest drop-offs in followers were high-profile accounts, while liberal accounts seem to be among the majority that fled the platform. NBC News' Ben Collins noted that several right-wing users actually joined Twitter following Musk's buyout. Case in point, former President Barack Obama, the most followed user on Twitter with more than 131 million devotees, have reportedly lost 300,000 followers since Musk assumed takeover. While while Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has allegedly since gained 90,000 followers, Collins reported. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott has gained more than 30,000 Twitter followers, since Monday, according to data from Social Blade. A social media, uh, a social media analytics tracker. I use Social Blade a lot. And sometimes between Monday and Tuesday, Senator Ted Cruz reportedly gained more than 40,000 followers. Some right-wing politicians celebrated these spikes in follower counts, including Representative Matt Gaetz, I think is his name, Republican from Florida, uh, as well, who added more than 60,000 followers since Monday, prompting him to tweet, "It really is something how conservative accounts are getting massive follower increase." And it's rather crazy indeed. Now, we have reached the end, but we're not done yet because we have one more video to get through, and we will get into that in just a short while I get things squared off over on this side. Let's see. But y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about all of this, for the simple fact that that Musk is about to take over Twitter and basically make the company, or let's just say the site, a whole lot better for everybody. So who knows? But we're gonna get into our last video of tonight, and this comes from Jose Rises. So this is Jose Rises. Let's get into it.
The meltdown coming from Hollywood over Elon Musk purchasing Twitter and making it his own is absolutely glorious. I have been absolutely just savoring it so much. It has been delicious, and I think that you all appreciate it as well, as we continue to see the leftists lose their minds over what is going on. And I've been saying this for years here on the channel, okay? If you are doing something that makes leftists super mad, then you're probably doing something correct, something right. And that is exactly what Elon Musk is doing here by the purchasing of Twitter. They can't stand it. They can't stand the potential of free speech being allowed on the platform once again. They are now leaving the platform. There's a mass exodus from
Before he continues, because free speech means all speech is coming. And what I mean by all speech, I said what I said. All speech, hate speech, good speech, love speech, all kinds of speech is coming. So if these liberal types got their panties in a bunch for the simple fact that they can't get their way, fuck them. All right, let's keep going.
Celebrities, Hollywooders, all of these people are leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk buying it and assuring that free speech would be a thing once again on the platform. Hollywood hates free speech. They absolutely do. Hollywood is rampant with Marxist ideologies and people who want to censor, silence, destroy anybody who does not line up with their agenda. And they can't stand that Twitter is becoming a harbor for free speech on the internet. So we have here actress Jamila.
But with Elon Musk going to open up the source of Twitter, then whoever is in Hollywood that have Silicon Valley ties they can just go to them, take the source, and create their own website and app to where those people can go over there. If they don't like the direction that Twitter is going in, then they can just create their own. Most of these people are millionaires. It doesn't take that much to make a website, and it doesn't take much to make an app. So why haven't they did that yet? Who knows? Let's keep going.
Jamil freaking out about Twitter before exiting. So this is what she decided to say. Actress Jamil announced she is leaving the hell platform Twitter on Monday. So this is what she decided to tweet out here. He got Twitter. I would like this to be my what lies here as my last tweet. Just really any excuse to show pics of barreled. I fear this free speech bid is going to help this hell platform reach its final form of totally lawless hate, bigotry, and misogyny. Best of luck.
Misogyny? Are you serious? Check this out. With the whole Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, LGBT, you name them, whatever. These have been the various organizations and the liberals. These have been the very people and the very organizations that have not only messed up our country, but at the same time, they have basically turned the country on its head to where you say anything that's out of line to them, then you basically go to social jail. That's the reason why Will Smith is dealing with the backlash he dealt with. That's the reason why R. Kelly dealt with the backlash he dealt with. Let me not take away. Did I say Me Too? I think I did say Me Too. That's the reason why Chris Brown goes through all the bullish that he goes through. It's a lot of foolishness that goes on when it comes to certain celebrities and not only just celebrities, just people in general. Like it's people that have a regular life that get banned off of platforms because of the things that they say. Like it's just ridiculous that you can't. In one breath, you say we should have free speech, but in the next breath, you basically condemn somebody for basically typing what they believe in and what they think. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like nobody should have the power, not even the government, should have the power to silence and to censor speech if in the very First Amendment it states that we have the ability of free speech, freedom of you're like, oh, you don't even know the amendment. It's freedom of speech, freedom. Let's bring it up. I'd rather read it than to try to remember it. I'll blame this on my job for not being able to remember a certain important thing. So, First Amendment. First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. It says respecting? I don't think it says respecting. Let's keep reading. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, and abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So that's basically what Elon is basically trying to reinstate to the company. That's all he's doing. So for her, Sean King, and various others saying that they're leaving, where are you going to go? There's no other place that allows y'all to spread y'all's foolishness to the world, basically. So where y'all gonna go? Facebook? Facebook has a strict freedom of speech policy. Very strict. Can't say certain things. We're gonna go Instagram. So you're gonna try to compete with big old fat asses with words? Get out of here. This is gonna win every time. There's no other place for y'all to go. So you might as well stay and take the punishment of seeing people actually type out a cogent sentence of what they believe and think. Might as well stay. Because you get to do it. Why can't they do it?
Which is interesting, which is hilarious, because when we go over to Elon Musk's page here, he gives his thoughts about what is going to be the free speech terms for Twitter. By free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I am against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, they will ask government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people. So Jamila saying that this place is that Twitter is going to be a hellscape of lawless hate, bigotry, and misogyny, then she is absolutely wrong and she doesn't know what she's talking about. But she isn't the only one who's having a total meltdown. We have The View, where Oprah, Whoopi Goldberg all of her little cronies love to gather and talk about some of the dumbest things imaginable. So we have here Sunny Hostin, who is giving her thoughts about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Hold on a second here. Let me see here. Let me see if I can switch this to that.
Straight. And in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men. So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is about free speech, it seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men. And so let them.
Do you know how many LGBTQ people are on Twitter? Okay, I showed you guys how the one person had, it was their name, their pronouns, and then everything that they represent, right? Go on Twitter. You'll see a lot of people on there, except for myself, people I know and people that I follow on Twitter, who don't have that shit. So with her saying that, is a bunch of foolishness. It's not just all straight white men that's on there just saying whatever that they want. It's everybody, and the main people that's on there condemning this is the very people of which I spoke of. Alphabet people and people who support those organizations and all of that other foolishness. That's what it is. So if people can't have freedom to say whatever they feel should be said in the moment, then why, I don't understand this. I'll say it here. Ever since the pandemic, when they started censoring people from things that they could say about the whole thing, and then it stretched off into other things such as saying things about gay and trans people, saying things about like other things. Now it's to where someone is about to come in and basically turn everything over to back to where it was when it first started. Y'all now have a problem? I'm not understanding where any of these people are coming from. Why is free speech in general something to fear if that is what was one of the purposes of this country within a whole? It's getting ridiculous out here in these streets. I think I've been on here for 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. Anyway, let's keep going so I can go.
Have it. Let them just go at it. I enjoy the block button on Twitter. I think it has a real outsized influence.
And that's so hilarious that now suddenly the block button is like, their thing and stuff. It's like, come on, block button should have always been, the way to, remove people that you don't want to listen to.
Before he continues, I thought The View was canceled. Or was getting canceled. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Twitter and stuff. That has always been the way. That is the beauty of the block button. But anyway, so she is apparently Twitter is now just a safe haven for white straight men to, talk about stuff or whatever. It's so dumb. These people are just ridiculous, insane. We have rapper Ice-T also weighed in on purchase, and it was still just an unconfirmed rumor. It would be kind of dope if Musk bought Twitter and just shut it off, LOL. So we have tons of people coming out, a lot of celebrities, a lot of Hollywooders.
That's what Elon posted. He put up a post that said, I want to buy Facebook and then delete it. That was hilarious. Because if he did put up enough money, I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg would be like, all right, I'll take it. I don't really care. I'm really focused on this metaverse thing anyway. So just to go ahead and take the company. I'll make the metaverse. I'll take the meta name, put it over to the metaverse, and just develop that instead of having to deal with this foolishness. I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg would be in for it.
And it is hilarious to watch because the majority of these Hollywood wokesters are losing their minds, and it is a glorious thing to watch. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll talk to you all.
All right. So we've came to the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this because I enjoyed this week researching all of this and getting and gathering information of things that I've known for probably a couple weeks and then presenting it here. I thank you guys for being here, most definitely. I hope you guys, if you're new, I hope you come back, and I hope you, view the live show. It happens Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so make a note of that. Every Saturday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you know your time zone. All right. Just letting you know. Central Time is an hour after Eastern Standard, and West Coast Time is 3 hours after. And then I think there's a thing called Mountain Time, which is 2 hours after Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys know your time zones. All right. So with that being said, we are done here. And I hope you guys enjoyed your stay. I'm not kicking you out, but you got to get the hell out of here because I got to go. I want to do some things that I like doing myself other than this podcast. But with that being said, I will cue up my theme music and I'm going to get on out of here. If you're here and you're listening to my voice right now, that means you've reached the end of the show, which is a good thing. What I would like to say, I hope you come back, and if you do come back, make sure you wipe your feet first before you come into my house. Alright? Now, first things first, please do not forget on Fridays at 6-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a game stream called Marcus Speaks Play. You can view it not only here on my main channel on Marcus Speaks, you can also view it on my secondary channel, Marcus Speaks Play, as well as my Twitch channel, Marcus Speaks Productions. Right? That's where you can find me at on Fridays, as well as please do not forget on Saturdays I do this here, my show, Marcus Speaks Live, my podcast. I've been doing this for probably 3 years now. It comes on at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I hope you guys come on back. as well, I want you guys to come back. All right, so like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you are new. Like I said, I have 2 YouTube channels, Marcus Speaks and Marcus Speaks Play. So please go and subscribe to them. Either channel, you can subscribe to both, so it doesn't matter where you go to subscribe, just subscribe and hit that bell icon to all. Like I said as well, I'm over there on Twitter, on Twitch. Make sure you make your way over there to Twitch, and follow me there. If you have any sort of recommendation that you would like to tell me, such as a story recommendation for my podcast that I can present here, or a show recommendation that you would like me to do, such as a review show or a reaction show or something, just let me know. Or a game recommendation, let me know either in the live chat, or you can let me know in the comment section if you're watching a replay. Just type it on down there. Or if you want to get to me directly to where I'll answer you right away, let me know in my DMs on social media. The way you can follow me is on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, the big 3. So make sure you follow me there. Take a screenshot of these places where I'm at. Also have a group page on Facebook you can follow. So do me a favor. Go and check those links out. Let me know how you feel. Follow me. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Do what you have to do. Like, share, and subscribe if you could. Alright? I would love for you to do that. And please do not forget, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. Alright? And if you ever come to the show, please hit the link that's off here to the side, pinned to the top, so you can talk to me, the host. Alright? Because I am using Restream.com to do this, to stream to various places, but right now I'm only streaming to my main channel. So, with that being said, I'm not being paid to say this, but I love Restream. Some people like other places to stream their stuff. I personally use Restream. So, giving you guys an option if you want to do this yourself. So, whatever. But with that being said, people, I'm glad you came. I'm glad I did this. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next Friday with more Kirby. Alright? More Kirby in the Forgotten Land. There's some post-game stuff that's happening that I want you guys to see. So please show up to that next Friday. And I'll catch you guys next week. Alright? I'll check you out later. Thanks for watching. And I'll check you out later. Peace out.